Charlie Kirk's debates once put America's divide on display. And now his murder has ripped it open, with Antifa now dragged to the center of the blame game. Is it really the culprit here? This is HT in Depth. Let's dive in. Antifa is short for anti-fascist. The word has its origin in the 1930s. To counter the Nazis, a German Communist Party came up with this term. It gradually spread to other parts of the world. It has existed in the US on and off for decades, but came to mainstream dialogue only after Donald Trump's first election victory in 2016. It was around the same time other anti-fascist groups started to come together. Antifa is not a specific group, it's an ideology. Even the former FBI director agrees. It is leaderless, doesn't have a set headquarters, and relies on groups online and offline. It's very hard to put an exact number on members, or who funds it or what exactly the movement intends to achieve. If fascism supports dictatorship and authoritarian policies, Antifa supports the exact opposite. They refer to Nazi Germany and Mussolini's Italy to show what happens when fascism is ignored. It rejects traditional politics of how voting and petitions can put one's voice forward. It believes in direct action, like protests, counter-rallies, and even doxing. There have been patterns of them revealing personal information of public figures on the right. The most concerning aspect is that many people affiliated with this ideology are in favor of using violence to suppress others. They call it self-defense, but past instances show it's much more than that. A group of 18 masked people carrying steel batons and hammers stormed a suburban Chicago family restaurant, attacking what they claimed was a meeting of white supremacists. A series of rallies and demonstrations descended into violent clashes between Trump supporters and black-clad, mask-wearing Antifa protesters in Berkeley, California, throughout the year. Many injuries were reported and arrests were made. Police confiscated weapons, including baseball bats, bricks and metal pipes. In August 2017, far-right protesters organized a protest in Charlottesville, Virginia, against the removal of a statue of Confederate icon General Robert E. Lee. Antifa protesters up as an active counterforce. They carried rifles and formed a secure perimeter around those taking down the statue. US President Donald Trump's battle with Antifa is an old one. But the fatal shooting of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk has given relevance to the conversation. Trump and his administration has been quick to blame the radical left for the attack, and is now mulling a complete ban on Antifa.
Do you plan on designating Antifa finally a domestic terror organization?
Well, it's something I would do, yeah. If I have support from the people back here, I think we'd start with Pam, I think. But I would, if you give me, I would do that 100%, and others also, by the way. But Antifa is terrible.
It is unclear how Trump would designate Antifa as a terrorist organization. Constitutionally, a domestic group can be branded as a terrorist organization, but comes with bureaucratic challenges. However, the bigger hurdle comes from a logistical standpoint. As we said earlier, Antifa is not a singular group, so who decides what is Antifa and what is not? And this is where the most concerning aspect takes birth. The ambiguity has let many on the right resort to putting all leftist voices in one basket and calling it Antifa. The president himself did it white talking about Kirk's shooter.
It looks like he was radicalized over the internet, and it's radicalized on the left. He's a left. I have a lot of problems with the left, and they get protected, and they shouldn't be protected.
This kind of narrative isn't limited to the faceless mob. It also extends to crucial voices in American politics. In the last few days, Brendan Carr has become the face of this campaign. Carr is the chairperson of the Federal Communications Commission, the country's broadcast media watchdog. His commission regulates radio, TV, and satellite airwaves, which gives him a wide range of power. The latest decision was to put ABC's late-night show with Jimmy Kimmel on ice. Carr put pressure on ABC for pulling the plugs after Kimmel's satirical piece on Kirk's death. Soon after, Trump said all TV networks were against him and they should be taken down.
And then 97% against. They give me only bandwidth or press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. That it will be up to Brendan Carr. I think Brendan Carr is outstanding. He's a patriot. He loves our country, and he's a tough guy.
Trump is silencing those who he deems does not agree with his policies. Congress has cut funding for NPR and PBS. Others are facing threats to have their federal licenses pulled. Letters have been sent to big tech companies, including Apple and Google, demanding information on how they rank news stories. Vice President J.D. Vance has endorsed a mass doxing effort to find anyone who speaks against Kirk. Trump and his allies once claimed to be victims of the woke media, shouting that their freedom of speech was being crushed by left-wing bias. But now, their response to Charlie Kirk's killing has crossed into something much darker, a campaign that looks less like protection and more like censorship. And in this escalating cycle, one truth remains. Violence does not play by party lines. It hurts both sides of the aisle. The politicians don't understand this, but we hope those watching this do. You have been watching HT in Depth.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.